Hello. I'm in my last couple days before devoting 8 weeks to studying for the October PTA Boards. I thought I was going to take the July one after I graduated, but a week after graduation, we had a weekend devoted down at school for score builders. A representative came and we took our tests, and we got to see kind of how to check our knowledge and see if we're ready for it. And I saw that I was really great in neuro, but weaker like in cardio, pulmonary, and a couple other ones. And I just decided that we already had a vacation planned. My daughter was going to have the summer off. My brain felt really fried. I was just going to postpone it. And so I'm hoping for the October one. But the way that we will find out, according to that score builders lady, if I'm ready for it, is to take different practice tests. And as long as I'm passing 3 out of 5 with the particular scores that I know I need to be above, with one of them being the PEAT. I don't know what it would be called in your state. In Indiana, it's called the PEAT exam, which is a previous boards exam. You get 2 with those for $100. All of this has just been so expensive to get to the licensing process. But I'm already fingerprinted. I've already had a background check. You pay money to get your transcripts sent over to the boards agency, the licensing agency, and then you have to put all your information in. Then you have to pay more to get into I think it's the FSBPT. Then you have to even pay a different company in order to take the boards. So if I get through these next 8 weeks and my tests aren't exactly showing that I'm likely to pass, I will have to pay like a $75 fee to cancel my placement date and to reschedule for a further one. So far, it doesn't seem like it'll be that bad. A lot of my classmates that I've heard back from and of have passed. Just one didn't, but she said that she should have known better because it wasn't showing that she was going to based on the practice tests that she was taking. So other than that, life has been all right. Today's one of the better days. Been having, like, when I came back from school, I was just sleeping a lot. And lately, I've been doing some of the medical mediums suggestions. Just this week began including a lemon water, a fresh lemon juice water in the morning, and then a celery juice, at least 16 ounces. My bowels went crazy for like a month. They may have finally stabilized, I'm not sure. Then just keeping with no overt fats as long as I can until dinner time. And dinner, I just let it happen. And my massage school training, I'd learned muscle testing. It's where you just trust that your body has some knowledge, and I can't explain it on here really. Like, my head's just still kind of foggy, and I'm just trying not to think too heavy in this week off before really jumping back in. But that had stated that my digestive system would get better within about a couple months if I maintained this kind of way. And like, my doc now has me on a different progesterone and then a patch for estrogen, because, like, I think today or tomorrow I'm at 50 days of consistent bleeding. The first month, it wasn't exhaustive. It was just annoying because it was that many days, basically a whole month of just like panty liners or that ultra thin kind for when I needed a little bit more space covered. Going through my supply of those and my reordering of those. And then it just jumped back back into like heavy, like going through my supers and my regulars with extra support in the back in case things go one way or another. With my normal cycle, it was just every 28 days, 5 to 9 days during my 40s as far as bleeding, because typically the brown stage would just drag on. There was brown in that first month, not with this red stuff though, and I have no idea how I'm bleeding this much. Like, I can't understand it. My sister had suggested a D&C, but I just don't see the point when that also brings about more bleeding. It's just, I'd rather do what I'm doing, and like if it gets to a third month of continuing it, I'll probably consider it, because when I started heavy bleeding, I started to actually get tired. Like low iron, I've always had an issue with that since I've never been the biggest meat eater. It's a texture thing, but I keep on forgetting to take it, but I got to remind myself to take it again along with my B. But overall, things aren't that bad. I let myself, when I'm feeling sad, to just feel sad. I had many days after I was done with all that sleeping of just crying, going shopping and letting myself cry. Getting groceries and making meals and making sure I didn't get it in the food, but just letting myself cry. Like the stress, just the down, like after the clinicals, not even being really sure if I even really want to do this. They just weren't the biggest instillers of faith in me to let me show what I even had, or messages of change yourself. If you want to be like me and I think I'm great, then you got to be like this, and just some confidence breakers. So I don't even know that I will do PTA once I have the license. I do want to get licensed to at least be able to do something else if I want to. I like having a couple different options, but even where my focus would probably be outpatient typically pays $20 to $25 an hour, and I can also make more than that doing massage in most places. So being that I loved massage, but COVID really was that big wake-up call of I couldn't have supported myself and my son if it had just stayed me and him when COVID came. I wouldn't have been able to pay rent. I wouldn't have been able to, just keep us floating because massage was my thing. I just wanted something else, and healthcare seemed like the really cool thing. And I'd always had an interest in PTA, especially because my massage styles have leaned more towards the medical side of it, with Fremmer, PFRIMMER, being my main tool that I use, if you care to look it up and see what it's about. But, I don't even know that I'll be doing PTA. So I don't know if I'm going to be happier once I get done with boards and just the stress of boards, of knowing that it's there for me if I want it, versus being able to just dive into a place where, I just find the one that's the right fit for me with because I'm not a person that wants to do massage at an office by myself. I like being around other people. I just have to be around the right mix of people with the right kind of politics within a company. So that's something that once it's over, I could probably go and find. In the meantime, on Tuesday, so just in 5 days, my young one joins 3rd grade. So we have a big weekend ahead of that, which is another part of why I want to be part of that, since I haven't been able to have her as heavily in my life over the 3 years that I've been down at school, to just spend time with her and rebuild that relationship and get it back to good before I find a balance between studying, taking care of myself, and then also making sure she gets what she needs. So it's all going. But as far as the hormones, I haven't really noticed anything different. Originally, when I was taking them back in the last October, is when I started taking some that were made from an apothecary, so just a little bit different than the prescription form I'm taking now. I was so hoping that either I would be able to sleep really well, maybe my hair would grow just as thick as it used to be, or the weight loss would become seamless, because at that time I had done like 4 months of regular weeks of like what the government recommends of 150 or more minutes of cardio and at least 2 full body weight training sessions. And weight training is what I loved doing before. I almost wanted to become a personal trainer. So I mean, I knew I was doing it right and doing it well, and I still wasn't seeing any movement in the big belly that came on after 43. So I don't know if it's something I'll stick with. Partly I'm sticking with because when that estrogen goes away, I did notice that my blood pressure, which had always been like 100 or 110 over 70, went high. And granted, that could have also, I noticed it and thought of it because of how my body had been changing as far as like holding on to all this extra weight when normally I'm so tiny, especially doing massage all the time. But it's just part of when the hormones change, and I just have to find whether I find it gives any benefit. A lot of things right now are just sort of in the air, but I hope everyone is having a great Lionsgate, since yes, I am making this today. And let me know if you have any questions, any words of encouragement. I'll keep you updated on if I've got to hunker in and study even more after this 8 weeks doesn't work for me. But take care of yourselves, and I'll keep you up to date, and let me know if you want to hear about anything else, since I did kind of blend a few things into this. All right, bye.